Welcome to the Humvee Show brought to you by Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. This is episode 9, right, Carp? If I'm right on that. Episode 9.
Don't quote me on it, but I think so.
Okay, if I screwed up, everybody, this is the Humvee Breakdown. We're your hosts, Hump Both, Tyler Carpenter. Logan Both with the day off due to his busy baseball schedule. And Carp, we got a lot of news to break down.
Yes, sir, we do. Jump right into it, Hunt. I'm looking
Let's
up to
go and
make
jump
sure
right into it.
what number episode this is, but go on. I will update us in a second.
Well, first off, we're going to start off by, I thought Phil Mickelson was going to win the PGA or the Masters, and that did not happen.
No, it did not. Scotty Scheffler dominated.
Yes, he did.
It was quite impressive how he did so well in the conditions. I did watch the Masters, the entirety of it, during work and on the weekend. And I mean, the playing conditions is like unbelievable. Wind going every single direction. You don't know what the wind's doing up above the trees. Hardest golf course out there. But no, Morikawa looked like he was playing really well, then kind of slipped to the last day. I don't think it helped anybody day one getting suspended. For the later groups, Tiger showed a lot of grit to make it through. I think 20, 23, 24 holes on Friday to make the cut. Broke the record for making the cut. I think 20 something years straight, 25, 24 years straight. But it was a really fun Masters this year.
Yeah, it was pretty fun to watch. Scheffler was on it. Not gonna lie,
And then
Scheffler was like back and forth.
what's even more impressive with Scheffler is he went back to back. He ended up winning the Heritage Open in North Carolina this week, um, and won $7 million the past 2 weeks.
Yep,
Not doing too bad.
that's right. Yep, yep. And then also we had a pretty good weekend. Logan had a Logan and Northwood and the Northwood Timberwolves baseball team had a all right weekend. The one I was at, it was okay. Pretty good weekend. I left mid of the what's the it was probably mid inning or so because the first game of the doubleheader on the Sunday one was bad, and then I leave and they walked it off. They walked it off on a single, and so I was just like, because here's the thing: you cannot watch a game with my mom in the car. Car, you cannot watch a game with her in the car. She's like
Well, deep
telling
dive
us,
into it.
here's the thing: she always has to tell us what happened. I'm like, Mom, I got the game on my phone. I'm watching it. She goes, well, why is Stats just quicker? I'm like, just watch the game. I'm like, I'm watching the game.
But this is episode 9. Can confirm.
Yes. Okay, good. I always forget what episodes I'm on. Oh man, Carp, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the Rockies that are sucking. How are they been doing?
They have been absolute trash. Logan and I went back and forth a little bit on Twitter the other day. Um, saw a tweet from him blaming the GM of the Cardinals.
Oh, the president of baseball operations,
Yep. Blaming
Jose
blaming the
Luck.
whole front office about the production of the Cardinals. I believe he was quoted saying, "You just got to give it a little bit more time." Logan was unhappy with that.
Yeah, I
Um,
was unhappy.
Logan, I've been waiting 13 years
Yeah,
for something cool to happen with the Rockies. They gave away Arenado and a small lump sum of $50 million to the Cardinals. Um, so we went back and forth, but I personally blame the Rockies sucking because of one person, the mascot, Dinger. He needs to go. The
I didn't.
Rockies, the Rockies, I I've always had this problem with the Rockies. Um, Dinger is a dinosaur, and we have this place in Colorado called Dinosaur Ridge, which is where a lot of dinosaurs have been found. So I understand it. But you know what happened to the dinosaurs, right, Hunt? About 60
Uh,
something million years ago?
Probably not.
They all died.
Oh,
So I think it's just a curse for the Rockies that we have an extinct animal. We could have picked something a lot cooler. So Dinger needs to go.
oh, poor Dinger. Yep, and then in some other news, I mean, everyone may have seen it. I'm sure most of it. Well, before we get to the other news that you were going to bring up, most of you did see Taylor Swift's new album came out over the weekend, and those of you that are wondering, yes, I did listen to the whole thing. Um, Carp, I'm sure you probably seen all the comments and stuff or whatever or not,
I
but
choose to ignore the Swiftie hype. So I have not listened to a single song. Um, but how did you think of it? What what's your favorite song? What needs to improve on? Was there any lyrics about Mr. Kelsey on there?
I think there was one song that was, I forget which one, but hey, I actually was thrilled with the one with Post Malone featuring Post Malone though. Fortnite.
Okay.
Yeah, that I was pretty impressed with that one. Yeah, I think there was. I'm not sure if there was any of them with, all their exes or whatever. I'm not sure. But yeah, I did
Well,
catch some. I did catch some, but I was like, I just want to hear the one on her own man, Travis Kelsey, on one of her songs, just to see if there's one about him. But yeah, but yeah, it was good. And then, but yeah, I enjoyed listening to it.
I am looking forward, speaking of Post Malone, to Post Malone and Morgan Wallen. They teased a song together, a country song last month. It should be releasing here in a few weeks. It might have already been released. I'm not too up to date with that, but that's a song I am looking forward to listening to when that gets released.
Oh yes, yeah, yep. And now, Carp, if you want to bring up the other news, if you want, I know everyone might want to hear it from
Well,
yesterday.
before we get into that news, I just want to talk about one of the best feats in all of sports history that's been going on since around December. Dave Portnoy has been on an absolute winning streak. I just wanted to take a second to discuss how insane of a winning streak this has been. Uh, Started off with the college football playoffs. He put $1 million on Michigan to win. Shout out Joey Byers. They won, started the hot streak, bet on the Super Bowl, another five or 600,000 on the Chiefs to win. That hit. Uh, Pre-bet March Madness and took UConn to win, another 1.6 million, and then put a $300,000 bet on Scotty Scheffler to win the Masters and won another 1 point something million dollars. He's been on an absolute hot streak. It's insane. I can't believe it. It is just unbelievable what he's been doing, and I hope it continues for him.
I've seen all that. I was like, is he winning more bets? Wow, wow, Portnoy. Rico Bosco. I don't know. Rico tries to. Usually, I watched the video of him playing basketball one day, and oh my God, that guy was going off.
I was a big fan of the putt putt tournament. Frank the Tank going off. I think we discussed it
Yeah, we did
the
last
last
week.
podcast. I just enjoy what they put out. It's been a lot of fun recently.
Speaking of that, I still gotta make that pull on me doing putt putt
Yes, you do.
because I gotta have a meltdown during putt putt. I gotta
Yep.
have a meltdown.
Logan and I will have the cameras rolling the entire match. We'll put together a little montage and post it on the Hunt V channel. But
But I
uh,
have to keep everything clean though, so I've heard.
well, we have some good editing skills where if you do have a meltdown, we can bleep some stuff out if we need to. But no, do you want to get into this the bigger news locally?
Yeah, go right ahead.
No, it's all you.
No, no, no. I told you got to bring it up. Well, I mean, most of you probably did see KU got a new head men's basketball coach. it's a familiar face that I've probably worked with for probably 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years.
You're quite
But
familiar
yeah,
with this coach.
yep. My guy Brad Hoyt is was named men's basketball coach yesterday. Um, I know that kind of shocked me when I when I watched my first turn got on my phone. I hurried up, go to the live stream, and I go to Facebook Live, and I next thing you know, is like glitches over to him, and I'm like, wait, are you serious? And I was just like, oh, I was like, okay, I wonder what I'm gonna do now.
Well, he's been at John Wood for more than a
13
decade.
years.
Yep, 13 years AD over there. He knows the ins and outs of the game. He's been here for a very long time, so it's nice for him to stay local, and he's done a great job over there at John Wood. So hopefully it translates, and hopefully someone on this podcast may continue coaching further on. But as the time rolls on and more news gets kind of in place, every stone gets put into its place, I guess we might get more information from one of our hosts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I haven't made my decision yet. So, I mean, I know everyone's gonna be asking, but yeah, I'm gonna keep that personal to myself. I don't want to blur anything out yet. Yeah, I don't know what my decision is yet. Oh my God, my dad says he wants to, he will take over dean of students at John Wood. I said, you will not do that.
I'd love Brad to do
Oh,
that.
I know. I just, I actually told Hoyt, I was like, hey, my dad needs a job, so if it's open, he can be the dean of students
Old Brad needs to do it. Make the jump.
from high school to college.
Oh yeah.
But who knows if my mom would love to hear that. Had her own husband going over the John Wood to be a dean. Man, we got a lot this week. Northwood had a little tough game yesterday with Saginaw Valley, as I'm sure you probably did see that. Lost 12-5, if I'm right on that final score. But yeah, it was tough yesterday.
Yeah,
They played
conference
Logan.
play that they have senior day not this weekend but next, I believe, and then conference play starts for them Wednesday the following week. I will be out of town. I'm going back to Colorado, but I believe it
Oh, you're
is
not
I
going
think
to
it starts
Arizona?
the
Where you're not going to Arizona?
they haven't moved yet. So
Oh,
I'm going back to go through some stuff and then help them kind of prepare, and then they'll be making the
ooh,
move in middle of June.
hey, there you go.
Yep, but Logan, I think Northwood starts conference play on Wednesday. I don't know if they're going to be in. They're doing
Uh,
pretty good in conference. I think they were ranked third the last I checked over the weekend.
they're in
Up,
they're in the region rankings now. I thought I just heard.
yep, I think I saw that too. But for the GMAC rankings, third place, I believe, unless if that changed this past weekend. Um, so they should have some pretty good footing. They've already played the top two teams already. I think they've seen enough of their pitching and know what their hitters do to put up a good fight.
Hmm. Yeah, that GMAC tournament will start May 8th on a Wednesday, and then it'll go through until Sun. Oh no, not Sunday. Saturday. Excuse me.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think the week of the 29th going into the first week of May, I think they play a doubleheader Thursday and a doublehead Friday to
Yep.
get
Yep.
prepared.
Yep. I'll be at that series actually. Hmm.
And then I think I will be at QU's senior weekend. They play UIS Thursday, Friday,
Oh
Saturday.
yeah.
So I think they're pretty close in conference to each
Wait,
other.
this
So
weekend you said?
nope, that's going to be the same weekend that you're gone.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll be spending a good old weekend up there in Midland.
Yep.
Yeah, that QU UIS series is wild.
It's always a dogfight. It's a big rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Goes back uh, to my first year, even before my first year. Um, but it's always a good series. Two really good teams. Uh, it's going to be fun. I'm excited to go to that one and kind of support all the seniors that are done. Some
Mm-hmm.
of the guys that are going to be coming back next year due to injuries. It's going to be fun to see everybody their last stretch and try to get ready for conference.
Yeah, and then that conference tournament of theirs will start, isn't that like the week? Isn't that the same week as the GMAC, or is that the different week?
I believe it's the same week, but I'm going to look real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, speaking of the Cardinals, Cardinals have been looking bad. I mean, they won yesterday, 5-1.
Did they end up win
Uh,
today?
yeah, they did win today. Excuse me, today. Yeah, they end up winning. Last night was bad. 12 to. Oh wait, maybe I gave you the wrong final score on that Saginaw Northwood game. Holy cow, my fault. Yeah, yeah, Cardinals lost like 14-1. I think that was the final score.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was not a good night. I know. I do not have patience. I do not have patience, Mosaic. I do not have patience.
You need to
I
have
do
a
not
little bit
have
more
it.
patience, that's for sure.
Well, you know, Logan does not have any patience.
Nope. Their GLVC tournament starts on May 8th too. It's down at in Marion again at Mountain Dew Park. Very nice
Mhm.
ballpark, nice facility. So probably won't be able to make that trip either since I'll be in Colorado, but rooting for the boys in gold and yellow.
Mhm. Yep. I'll try out to do both. That and then watch one game at a time.
Yep.
I still support my buddies there, Q. Don't worry. Um, yeah, pretty good week. A lot of stuff coming up this week. I'm not familiar with.
We got playoff hockey going and we got
Oh yeah, playoff
playoff
hockey.
basketball going.
Uh,
I think as of
Lakers are gonna kick the Nuggets butts. By the way,
nope.
just so you know that.
Nuggets are already
Yes.
up 2-0. We got the advantage going into LA. Jamal Murray hit a buzzer beater winning shot over Anthony Davis after LA
I
gave up a
don't want
20
to
point
hear it.
lead. So
Mm-mm.
the Lakers are going down. They're probably going to lose in four, which I'm really happy for.
I don't want to
LeBron's
hear
going to
that.
be sitting at home watching the NBA championships again. Um, Nuggets have looked really, really good. Even the Avalanche have looked really good. They're playing the Winnipeg Jets right now. They're 1-1 heading into Colorado to play. Perfect timing for Colorado sports. You got two Nuggets games at home, then right into two Avalanche games at home. So it's looking fun. I'm excited for those two sports, while my favorite two sports really suck.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know the Rockies suck. Just so you know.
Well, yeah, and then the Broncos trade away Wilson for a argumentative, even worse Wilson. So.
Oh, speaking of, I did you see the new Broncos uniforms?
Yes,
What are your thoughts?
how can I say this correctly without having to be bleeped out? They look like they look like a drawing I made in kindergarten while drawing the color of Tang, the old astronaut drink. They look terrible. Um, I'm not a fan of them. But I mean, it's just right in Broncos trend lines, trading away Russell the trash can Wilson. I never thought in a million years we would get a potentially even worse quarterback, but we did.
What are these things, anyways? I'm just
I don't know. I don't know what's happening in Broncos country, but ever since Russell Wilson caught the kitchen on fire and burned down the entire house. They have not even tried to rebuild the house. They just put um, a shed on the field and burned that back to the ground too.
hmm, not good.
Not good.
Oh, hey, but I told you before. Justin Fields. I just want him as number one quarterback.
It's going to be interesting to see how he plays with Tomlin. That's
Yeah.
going to be interesting. One of my coworkers at work, he's a big Steelers guy, and he's optimistic about it. I don't understand the logic behind it. You got Russell for a very cheap contract, and then you got Fields, so probably can bounce some ideas back and forth. But just watching how Russell played at Denver, I don't know if he'll be that much of an addition for you, but hopefully Fields will kind of get his footing with a coach like Tomlin. I think those two will gel together really good.
Mm-hmm. Also, and some other things. I forgot to bring this up. Also, MLB. Back to the MLB. Aaron Boone gets ejected after a fan says something to home plate umpire Hunter Winstead.
Yes, I saw a clip of that on Twitter. I think John Boy was breaking it down. I mean, some of these umpires need to be held accountable.
Angel Hernandez is so bad.
They're being too protected by the umpires union and their ties with Major League Baseball. I mean, you can't have such a short fuse with a coach. The umpire told Aaron to calm down, quiet down. He shut up, and then a fan, which is easily 5 or 10 rows above, yells at the umpire, and Boone gets the boot for it. That makes no
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah.
Uh, you have to have the crew chief come in and say like, hey, like let's take that to review so they can actually see if it was uh, a fan that said it. And two, that shouldn't happen in the first place. I mean, these umpires have just had too much leeway to kind of do whatever they want, control the game however they want, and it's pushing fans to actually go to the robotic umpires because it takes that kind of stuff out of the game. Like one, if
Mhm.
you would be calling the strike zone good and not calling terrible. Uh, Keep in mind, it's a fast game. I understand it. Everything happens in the blink of an eye. But if you're going to be a major league umpire, you need to be the best of the best. You cannot
Mhm.
you cannot have such a wide strike zone at a level like that where people are competing and their livelihoods are on the line, and then have such a short fuse you eject a coach because of what a fan says.
Yeah, that's I didn't like that at all. Like the fan.
And
I can
don't even get me started on how Angel Hernandez is still an umpire in Major League Baseball.
he is like so bad.
And Jeff Passan went on to the Pat McAfee show last week during Jackie Robinson Day, and he said there's worse umpires, and I understand that every umpire has different call strategies, has a different strike zone. They have their own persona behind it, so to say. Like Joe West, very interesting
Oh,
umpire.
Big
Um,
Joe.
so like every umpire is a little different, but like Aaron Hern Aaron Hernandez, Angel Hernandez has had one of the worst strike zones in Major League Baseball history for the past 4 or 5 seasons. He's even umpired All-Star games and the postseason, and nothing's changed. Like
Yeah.
you're changing the game into a way that I'm not liking it. Like it's okay to have a missed call here or there or give a ball off the plate, ball down, ball up, but some of his balls that he's calling in strikes have been missing the plate by 6 or 7 inches. Like that's not even competitive.
Like inside off inside the plate or off the plate. Oh my God.
I
That's what
was
drives
I
me nuts with Angel.
I was a hitter and a pitcher at QU for 3 years, and I pitched my last year only. As a pitcher, I loved an umpire that would give me a ball off the plate, but at some point, even as a pitcher, if an umpire called a ball that was maybe 3 or 4 balls off the plate a strike, I would even be shaking my head because as a hitter, I know I can't do anything with it. Like it's impossible
Hmm.
to compete and try to foul a pitch off. You're swinging off balance, you're going to strike out more, and you're competing for a spot. So um, I think on both sides, pitchers are kind of getting tired of that. Like it's unbelievable how bad the game has gotten in the sense that umpires kind of have so much leeway and free reign to do whatever they want and have no repercussions behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. But but yeah, that whole thing drives me nuts whenever I attend games. I remember I attended the Cubs Cardinals rivalry at Busch Stadium. Um, this guy came from this umpire came from the minor leagues and he moved up to the big leagues. He was up and behind the plate. Yachty lit, Yachty. Yachty, I like Yachty. I like when he lifts his glove up and someone's like low below the zone, whoever out of zone. He lifted it up. He called a strike, and I remember David Ross went off. And I remember checking the footage or whatever, and I was literally in the background of David Ross walking back to the dugout, recording, and I was just standing there, yeah, yeah. I was like, David, that's a strike, anyways.
But
And the
with
next thing you know, Chris Bryant strikes out after. I'm like, yeah,
well, he's still doing a lot of that. But one thing that I do really like that MLB is trying to do is a kind of hybrid with robo umpire and actual umpires. I've seen videos going over on X where I think it was a video with Paul Skeens.
mm-hmm.
He in the minor leagues right now, depending on the day of the week, you can challenge a umpire's strike call or a ball call, both the hitter
Mm.
and the catcher or the pitcher. Um, I think that brings a little bit more fairness to the game. The one thing that I don't like about it is if the trackman catches the ball, even touching a single centimeter of the strike zone, it will call it a strike. So personally, for me, I think half of the ball has to catch the strike zone for it to be considered a strike. If not, if only a little piece of the ball is catching the strike zone and the majority of that ball is a ball, I don't think that should be called a strike. But I do like that that is an option for the catcher to challenge a called ball and possibly get it overturned to a strike, and vice versa for a hitter if he gets rung up on a ball and he can challenge it and he might still get a fighting chance to have a competitive at bat.
Yeah, I was like that there. Yep, yep, that is. That's for sure. Well, it's been a great week this week. But yeah, we're look forward to next week. Carp, anything for the Carp's Corner podcast for this week? I know you haven't had one lately since you've been in and out of the house.
Yeah, I've
But
been
yeah, what's
pretty
on the next
busy.
one?
I've been pretty busy, but I'm planning on having a deep dive podcast a little bit longer than my typical podcast. It's just been a hectic past 10 or so days. Haven't really found a time to record and do this podcast at the same time. So I'm planning on probably releasing a longer episode, I'd say Monday or Tuesday next week. I'm actually going to Kansas City this weekend, so I'll be out of town. Um, but I'm looking to deep dive into the NBA tournament, go into some of the golf stuff, definitely talk about baseball because I have a bunch to gripe about the Rockies, and Major League Baseball as it's standing right now. Like, I don't know if you saw this, but a record was broken with um, it was a Red Sox Guardians game, and they finished the game in an hour and 47 minutes.
Yeah,
Like that,
holy cow.
that's nuts. The pitch clock, I think, is causing a lot of arm injuries. That's why you're seeing a lot of big name pitchers. Spencer Strider had an elbow issue, and I think it's been a cause for a lot of injuries for pitchers. And no one wants to go to a ball game that wants to drink a beer, have a hot dog, and be done in an hour and a half. If that's the case,
Yeah,
I would rather sit at home and watch it instead of driving 2 hours down to St. Louis. There's no point in driving a total of 4 hours to a game just to sit there for an hour and a half.
yeah,
But no, it's been a hectic few weeks. I'm looking to get back into my podcast and obviously doing this podcast too. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see what comes. But always love doing this podcast with you, Hut.
yeah. Thanks. But yeah, be sure to tune in all next week or so. Um, we're gonna see if we try to get Logan back on. And the last time he was sitting in his car, the last time he was doing it. But yeah,
He's a busy
be
man.
sure
You gotta
he's
catch him
busy.
at the right time.
That's right. Yeah, for myself, Humvo, Tyler Carper. This has been this is episode 9 of the Humvee Breakdown presented by the Humvee Show.